Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome for another coronavirus Texas update. So after this governor's mask order, I had a friend of mine asking, can you actually call the cops on someone for not wearing a mask? And there's a lot of misinformation going out there around it, so I thought I'd make a video to let you know what's going on. Okay, so the order specifically says that every person in Texas shall wear a face covering over the nose and mouth when inside a commercial entity or other building or space open to the public, or when in an outdoor public space wherever it is not feasible to maintain 6 feet of social distancing from another person not in the same household. Okay, that's a lot to go through. But there's some specifics there we should dial in on. The first is that masks are required both in indoor and outdoor public spaces. So if you're basically inside anywhere, a mall, a gym or something like that, you gotta wear a mask. And if you're outside, and you can't maintain 6 feet of social distance, then you gotta wear a mask as well. You also don't need a mask if you're exercising outside. So if you're running, riding a bike, or hiking, you don't need a mask. I mean, I'm not really worried about this one because the chances of me exercising are pretty low. You also don't need to wear a mask while you're driving. Remember, wearing a mask doesn't keep you safe from the virus, it keeps others safe from you spreading it. So unless you're worried about infecting yourself, if you're driving around solo, you don't need to wear a mask. Also, you don't need to wear a mask if you're in a swimming pool or swimming in the lake. Kind of hard to wear a mask when you're swimming, but the order specifically says you don't need to do it. The order also says very explicitly that people at protests are not exempt from the order. So there's actually a protest planned at the governor's mansion today here in Texas. So I'm wondering if any of these reopened people are going to actually be wearing a mask, but according to this order, they have to, or it's a $250 fine. And now we get to my friend's question. Can you call the cops on people for not wearing a mask? Can you go all Karen on them? Well, technically, you can, but they won't be arrested. There's provisions in the order for removing people for things like trespassing. So if you're at a business or something like that, and people are refusing to wear masks, well, you can call the cops and have them removed. So, of course, just hours after the executive order was signed, there were already lawsuits against it here in Texas. A Houston attorney named Jared Woodfill has filed a lawsuit trying to stop the order. It'll actually be his 7th lawsuit against elected officials over executive orders signed during the pandemic. So yeah, while the rest of us are out learning a new skill or building a YouTube channel, this guy's been filing lawsuits. And so why are these people so against these masks orders or the shelter-in-place orders or all the things that are being deemed necessary by public health? Well, the thing is, for them, it's not really about public health. I mean, a lot of these people think the virus is fake anyway. But what it really boils down to is a question of the state's power over its people. And they don't want the government to overreach, which, none of us want the government to overreach, but these are clearly times where this is mandated because of a public health crisis. There's a global pandemic going on. And as a lawyer, this guy should know this lawsuit is a complete waste of time. The Supreme Court has already established that the states have the ability to put down these orders if it's in the interest of public health. There's an interesting court case from 1905 called Jacobson versus Massachusetts. In that court case, there was a measles outbreak in Massachusetts, and they wanted to vaccinate everyone. They wanted to require vaccinations. And there was a guy, Jacobson, who said, hey, vaccinations are not good, not a fan. I guess those people were still around even back then. But the state put a $5 fine upon Jacobson, and he said that was unconstitutional. And so the case went all the way to the Supreme Court, and what the Supreme Court basically said was that the state has the power to do some things that might not normally be constitutional in the efforts of stopping something like a measles outbreak or a global pandemic. So this lawsuit really is just a waste of time. And I wouldn't be surprised if this guy's looking for people to donate money to help him, get this lawsuit going forward, because, hey, lawyers got to eat too, right? Another thing I wanted to address in this quick video is there's a lot of rumors out there about OSHA. And OSHA saying the masks don't work and they reduce the oxygen levels of people that wear them. There's people out there even saying that, if you follow the state's order on masks, you'll be breaking OSHA's own regulations. But that is total bullshit. According to PolitiFact, OSHA actually recommends wearing masks. They have not said anything about how it goes against their own regulations. If anything, they're encouraging people to wear masks themselves. So if you see that anywhere, it's completely fake. So that should hopefully help you get more of the the specifics on the mask rules. If you have any other questions about them, shoot me an email, citizenpete101@gmail. And let's be honest here. This all sucks. Like the masks, I personally hate wearing them. They're very uncomfortable, but what really put this whole thing in this perspective for me is I had an N95 mask. Wear one of those for like 10 minutes or 30 minutes. They are the most uncomfortable things imaginable. I mean, when I take it off, there's like lines in my face. Like I'm wearing it and I feel like I can barely breathe the whole time. I feel hot. I mean, they're really uncomfortable. And right now there's medical professionals out there that are wearing them for like 10, 12 hours a day because all you people won't wear a mask. So look, it sucks, they're uncomfortable, but if you want things to return back to normal, just wear the damn mask. It's not that hard. So now that we got the mask stuff out of the way, there's also a proclamation basically allowing counties in Texas to limit gatherings to just 10 people. So that got me thinking that I should probably work on my top 10 list. Now this is kind of an awkward thing to do. You might want to think about doing the same, I know it can be weird, but hey, these are weird times. So with that said, I just want to let Todd know that you're out of the list. I'm sorry you had to find out this way. I wish there was a better way of going about it. There probably was, but what you gonna do? If you'd like to join my top 10 list, send me an email, citizenpete@gmail.com, and let me know what you're bringing to the table. If you're willing to, bring beer or maybe provide some free food, that's going to look very well for you. Thank you so much for watching Citizen Pete and listening to my news and politics rant. It's nice to be able to share my opinion with you. If you haven't already, check out some more videos floating around here. Subscribe to my channel, shoot me a like, and leave a comment. I want to know, what do you think?